Hello guys and welcome to Odds on Bundesliga. We are here to analyze the 29th match day with Radek Vegas. How are you, Radek?
Hey guys. Hey Eduardo. Let's have a look at the odds and these interesting games on game day 29.
Yeah, the title race is on because Bayern drop points. And remember, guys, leave a comment here. In the video, you have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet, or because we are live, ask any question to Radek. He's the betting expert and he will answer for you. And of course, like if you enjoy the video, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get all the notifications whenever we do these live videos with Radek, for instance. And let's start with the game we have on Friday. Good one, I would say. Leipzig, Hoffenheim. Now, as I said, 5 points behind Bayern Munich. So if they win this game against Hoffenheim, only 2 points behind. And we have to say, Radek, that Leipzig is in good form in the Bundesliga. They beat Werder Bremen easily, 1-4. So Sorloth scored a brace. And Hoffenheim, they are not good. They got a draw, at least against Bayer Leverkusen after 3 straight defeats. So I guess we should expect a victory for Leipzig, but the odds are very low.
Yes, and it was like I predicted last week that Leipzig will clearly win this game against Bremen, and they won. They were leading 3-0 at the halftime, and so I think, yeah, they still on track. They still a strong team, no matter how they played against Bayern Munich. 5 points behind. After 29 game days, historically there is a 4% chance for Leipzig to still be the champion. I think last time a team with 5 points behind on this game day was Borussia Dortmund, winning the championship in about 20 years ago, and it was the only time, I think. And in the 80s, I think Bayern Munich was champion with Hansi Flick as player, but it's unusual that a team wins the championship with this points behind. But on the other hand, Leipzig is still good in shape, and Hoffenheim is not, as you said. They had the game on Monday, now they have the game against Leipzig on Friday. Everything leads to a home win for Leipzig, because Hoffenheim also struggles a lot within the last games. That's why I think, yeah, Leipzig will win, but not sure if they are able to win with 2 goals in advantage. The odds on Leipzig are really too bad to bet on. The only thing would be Asian handicap -1 on Leipzig or -1.5. But I'm a bit aware of Hoffenheim, because in a good situation they also can compete for a draw here. But yeah, regular Leipzig wins this game with 2-1 or even 2-0. Something like that.
Asian handicap -1.5 for Leipzig, for instance, give us odds 2.12 right now on Oddspedia.com. If someone
too dangerous, yeah,
and still too low, actually. So then let's jump on the games we have on Saturday, starting with Augsburg, Arminia Bielefeld. Arminia Bielefeld is still in playoff positions, even if they beat Freiburg, but they are close, actually, from salvation, not far from Hertha, and they are not bad, actually. In the last 4 games, only 1 defeat, and one was 0-1 with Leipzig, so maybe they are dangerous with a team like Augsburg that lost against Schalke, something that very little teams can say in this season in the Bundesliga, but at home they are a bit better. They won the last 2 games at home. The odds for Augsburg 2.41, for Arminia Bielefeld 3.3, and I'm sure you wouldn't trust nor Augsburg nor Arminia Bielefeld.
It's not a question of trust. I think Bielefeld is dangerous, as you said, and they are still able to hold the class because they made big points, and that's why they're not the underdog against Augsburg, and Augsburg is not the favorite in this game, because who loses against Schalke is no favorite anytime. But yeah, you said at home, Augsburg showed another face. They collected most of their points at home. And in a regular game, I would say, yeah, comparing the squads, the players on the pitch, Augsburg is the better team for sure. They missed a lot of opportunities to collect points. They are, yeah, maybe really exhausted after, yeah, some really a lot of games within the pandemic situations, and everyone is. But for Augsburg, it seems, yeah, they are struggling more than Bielefeld. So in this situation, I won't touch Augsburg. But on the other hand, I won't bet on Bielefeld because I'm emotionally involved, because Augsburg is some of my favorite teams here. And if I can put this beside, I would say maybe a draw is the best option here, because I can't see a clear winner. But anyway, the odds on all sides are not that attractive, and that is a classical coin flip where everything can happen, and hard to predict. At the end, yeah, it's for Bielefeld, every game is against their relegation, and everyone expected them to go down directly, and now they really still have good chances to hold the class. And Augsburg is a team where they can take at least 1 point, and they have to if they want to stay in the league. And yeah, that's the danger. But anyway, very hard to say.
And we love draws. We know that in the Bundesliga. Then let's jump to the next one. Very interesting one, actually. Gladbach, Eintracht Frankfurt. Frankfurt is still in the fourth position, 7 points difference with Borussia Dortmund, because they beat 4-3 Wolfsburg in a very good game. Jovic, Andre Silva scoring. Whereas Gladbach, they were only able to draw against Hertha, although they were playing with one player less, because the goalkeeper Sommer was sent off at the beginning of the game. So fair enough. Good point. And I'm surprised here, Radek, I don't know if you are as well, to see that Gladbach is actually favorite for the game, taking in consideration that Eintracht is doing a really, really good 2021.
Yes, these odds don't make any sense for me, because we have a really awesome playing Eintracht Frankfurt beating Wolfsburg in the clash of the Champions League contenders 4-3, scoring 4 goals, playing amazing football, have brilliant players in the rows, and an amazing coach. And this is a good point here, because before this game against Gladbach, Eintracht Frankfurt announced that their coach Adi Hütter will be coach of Gladbach next season. Hard to understand, making an awesome job with Eintracht Frankfurt for 3 years, going to the Champions League with them next year, and not being their coach, instead coaching a team which is far behind in the Bundesliga this season. So yeah, very sad moment for Frankfurt. On the other hand, we know the coaching business, that it's very unusual that a coach is doing equal good work over 2 or 3 years as Adi Hütter did. So maybe he knows that some point will be going down, and he will be fired, maybe, because everyone expects him to go higher and higher and higher, and some they will be going down. And maybe this can be a point that Eintracht is a kind of nervous now, knowing that their coach is leaving, like Gladbach was when Marco Rose, their coach, announced that he's leaving to Borussia Dortmund. So all in all, I would say, considering the standings with Frankfurt on spot 4, and their streak and their good games, they are clearly favorite. You have to bet on Asian handicap plus 0.25, means you win half the price if there's a draw. This would be my favorite bet. I think we get good odds around 2.0 for that.
Our
But
audience
yeah,
also agree. Actually, Rude Boy, Frankfurt to win, don't complicate, he says,
yeah,
2.77.
maybe, but yeah, if it would be that easy, yeah, we can do it because the price is really high. It's a good option to bet on Frankfurt. I see that, but the Asian handicap always is a bit, insurance on draws, and that we can face a draw here is also very likely. I would say 30% probability for a draw here. We get odds of 4.0 on a draw, so there is some value on draw as well. Even more like a win on Frankfurt, in my opinion, because I also think Frankfurt would win is not more likely than a draw, and that's why I prefer draws. And especially if you get odds of over 4.0 on draws, there is more value in the long run. Maybe in this game Frankfurt will win and we lose a small amount of money. Fair enough, but on the other hand, you have to consider every outcome of the game, and also Gladbach can surprise for sure in a home game. Making 1 point with 10 players against Hertha is not that bad. Now they're missing for sure Jan Sommer and also Christoph Kramer because of his 5th or 10th yellow card, I don't know. And 2 important players. Yeah, but on the other hand, I think Gladbach is getting better and not that bad after Rose announced that he's leaving. So, yeah, really tough game as well. And in this case, we always take the draw for this price. And yeah, nothing wrong about betting on Frankfurt, but this is a kind of a trend bet. And yeah, every trend comes to an end.
Well, we have these two options. Be careful because Gladbach, we said how they got a point against Hertha. They won the 2 previous games. They are bad in the table because they had a terrible run at the beginning of this 2021, but still be aware of draws. Then we have Freiburg Schalke. Schalke winning their second game of the season, beating Augsburg 1-0, keeping a clean sheet even before they were coming from a close defeat 2-1 only against Leverkusen, and now they face Freiburg, a team that is not good right now. They are safe, so their job is done, but they lost against Bielefeld before they lost against Gladbach. So maybe Schalke can get a point here, and the double chance for them is not a bad option because Freiburg, of course, is so favorite for this game.
Yeah, and that's the problem because Freiburg is not the favorite. Even against Schalke, they're not the favorite. They're not a favorite in any game. I think they were favorite last week against Bielefeld, and you see what happened. They lost 1-0 against Bielefeld. Why should they be clear favorite against Schalke? I don't think so. So that's kind of a bad thing to bet on Freiburg with 1.7. I think a fair odd on Freiburg would be around 2.2, 2.3. So we have a really huge gap to this odds. I think I would go with Freiburg and bet on them because you have to keep your money strong in your hand and only put it where you are really confident that this is a good investment. And an investment in Freiburg 1.7 is not giving you a lot of money. And so sad. On every team who's this favorite, it's always dangerous. On the other hand, what can we expect of Schalke? Are they really in an uptrend? Are they getting even to a streak with maybe 2 games in a row not losing? This would be amazing for them. I hope the best for them, but in this game I don't see any really attractive thing to bet on. Maybe very, very less goals, under 2.5 goals could be an option here, because I think Freiburg at home will be making the game, but as Schalke proved under their new coach Gramotzis, they do everything not to concede goals, and they concede less goals than under every other coach they had in this season.
Not difficult.
Yeah, it's a good improvement that I think, yeah, maybe it's a low-scoring game, but nothing to bet on.
Let's jump on the next one. I think you are going to like this one. I think we have Union Berlin, Stuttgart. Union Berlin, they got a great point against Bayern Munich in the last minute. Inversen scoring the goal, and Stuttgart lost 2-3 against Dortmund, but put in a fight. We know how Stuttgart, they are good away, 6 victories away. And we talked a lot, Radek, about the curse of getting points from Bayern Munich. And the odds for Stuttgart are quite good, 3.3 maybe here.
I really was proving that before, because there is no curse on getting 1 point against Bayern Munich. So a team who is drawing against Bayern Munich is kind of improving their form even. But teams who are winning against Bayern Munich are going down. But Union Berlin, second time in this season, they also draw against Bayern Munich in the first game, and now they had a 1-1 against Bayern Munich, kind of as I predicted last week, because I said every time Lewandowski is missing, it was the third time Bayern was playing without Lewandowski, they only won with 1 goal in advantage, and now they even didn't win, and so the Asian handicap on Berlin was great. And in this game, that's why I think Union Berlin is getting stronger after this point against Bayern Munich. As a lot of other teams showed after their draws against Bayern Munich, they didn't lose games like Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, like Leipzig did. There are not so many teams who collected points against Bayern Munich. But on the other hand, Union Berlin is a good team. They are still in a good position and have chances to maybe get to the international spots. They have a great team. But now we come to the downside. The odds are really terrible with 2.3 against a really dangerous, good young team like Stuttgart is. They also scored twice against Borussia Dortmund. They are really in a good form. They are hungry for goals. They are missing Silas now, who is injured and who had the most goals for them, I think, after Kalajdzic, and that's a point. That's why Stuttgart is not the big strong underdog at home, away as they were. They're one of the best away teams in the league. Everything leads to a draw, in my opinion, here as well, because we get a little bit too low odds on Union Berlin because Stuttgart is too strong, and we get okay odds on Stuttgart. But I really think we see something around a close game where a draw is the best bet. And it's can happen everything. Union Berlin also wins, Stuttgart wins, but 3.6 is a great odd here for a draw.
Then another option for a draw. Let's move on with the best game we have in the weekend. Wolfsburg, Bayern Munich, third against the first. Bayern Munich is crazy, how football is. For sure, it's the best team in Europe. Now they are out of the Champions League, playing an amazing tie with PSG. Probably none of them deserve to be out of the competitions. They are out of the cup, remember? Also, so their only option is winning the Bundesliga. They have 5 points advantage, but this game is very tricky. If they drop points here, maybe there are some nervous. Lewandowski is still probably missing. This game, Wolfsburg, they lost against Frankfurt, but again, it's a very good team. They won the last 3 home games without conceding a single goal. So here is a test, for Bayern Munich, how they will react of being out of Europe undeservedly, but still, when your best player is missing for, as you said last week, for a Poland-Andorra fixture, and then they are he's missing the most important games of the season, this thing can happen.
Yeah, but the most shocking thing about this is that without the best player in the world and your top scorer, they won against a team like Paris yesterday with 1-0, not conceding a goal against some of the best strikers in the world with Mbappe and Neymar. This was kind of shocking, because the Bayern Munich defense in the Bundesliga is not the best, because the best defense is Wolfsburg. But even Wolfsburg conceded 4 goals against Frankfurt. So you can't rely on any stat in the Bundesliga. And I said before the game against Paris, I thought Bayern Munich is losing this game because they are missing Lewandowski, they are missing Goretzka, and Gnabry had coronavirus, and so they had to play with not their best formation, and also they won against Paris. This is a good point. But the other point is that they had 3 really tough games against Paris, against Union Berlin, where they only draw, and another Paris game before, and now coming back to Bundesliga, where Wolfsburg is still doing a great job. They lost against Frankfurt, okay, but in the first game against Bayern Munich, they also were really competitive and able to get at least 1 point. At the end, they lost 2-1. In Munich. Now they're playing at home. Maybe this is another point that Wolfsburg can be a surprise here, and that Bayern Munich is a bit of exhausted after the Champions League. It's really tough, because they also know that they have only 5 points, and if they're not winning, Leipzig will come to only 3 points, maybe, if there is a draw. And if they even lose this game, then Leipzig is only 2 points behind them, if Leipzig is winning their game. But this is another situation. In this game, I'm not sure that Bayern Munich can handle all these points against them, and I'm again betting on a draw with 4.05, because Wolfsburg has the potential for sure to do that.
Root Boy is telling us Bayern to win and both teams to score. He expects Lewandowski to be back because he's back on training. But as you said, many bad things happening in the last weeks for Bayern Munich, testing this squad that is shorter than the previous year, and it's very difficult to compete, and only Real Madrid won back-to-back Champions League titles. Bayern Munich couldn't do it, but still they have the Bundesliga title in their hands. So for you, this is a draw between Wolfsburg and Bayern Munich. We still have...
Sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to say one thing for this bet, Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score. I don't know the odds about that. I think it has to be around 3.5 or higher to be kind of profit, because it's nothing else than an accumulator bet, and in accumulator bets there is always no value for the players and only value for the sports betting companies. That's why I never recommend playing accumulators. And if you have 2 bets combined, like Bayern wins and both teams to score, you have to win both of these and that's why I won't recommend that, and the odds have to be very high that there will be any value in the long run. So just to have this in mind, if you think for sure maybe it's likely both teams to score. But I said this in another video that if you bet on both teams to score, you have also a hidden accumulator, because you need 2 teams to play with you in the odd, and that's why I don't like the both teams to score bettings. And the only time I bet on both teams to score is both teams to score no, because you have Wolfsburg with one of the best defenses in the league, you have Bayern Munich with very good defense, and that's why I think there might be better odds in or chances in both teams to score? No. So enough said. I wish you the best. I know every game can end up like you said, like I said, no matter what. But you always have to compare this with the odds you get and probabilities.
Actually, checking now on Oddspedia.com, both teams to score. Yes, 1.56 only. No, 2.7. So
very attractive. I put my money on both teams to score no, because for sure Wolfsburg has also Wout Weghorst, but Bayern proved against even Paris. You would have said also against Paris, well, only top teams, they have to be goals, but that's not always the case, because defenses win championships.
And Neymar and Mbappe missed a lot of chances yesterday. Well, let's see what happened in this, the most important game for sure in this weekday. But still, we have, for instance, the last game on Saturday, Leverkusen, 6 now in the standings after drawing with Hoffenheim, a team that is very difficult to trust right now. They are in bad form. But they face Cologne in relegation places, losing against Mainz. Now 8 winless games, 3 points away from Bielefeld. Looks like Cologne can go actually to the Bundesliga too, Radek.
No, why? This is a very, very sad for Cologne, because I think they have... if you count together the prices of all their players, they are about 14th or 15th team in the Bundesliga. So everyone expected them to play against relegation, and no surprise about that. But if you look at the games of Cologne, they had really good games. They made 1 point against Borussia Dortmund. I say this every time, and they were so close to win this game against Borussia Dortmund. They lost with 1 goal against Wolfsburg. No shame on that. And now they fired their coach Markus Gisdol, who because they scored 2 goals against Mainz, where they had 60% of the ball and about 20 shots on goal. So Cologne is a strong team. Mainz is 5th in the last 11 games in the Bundesliga, one of the best teams in the league in the last 11 games. So Cologne is a good team, and they fired their coach. I don't know why. Because I think the president or the manager of Cologne, has other plans, and I don't know why. Because Gisdol made a brilliant job with a really unknown, weak team. They made the best out of them, and not collecting points against really strong opponents is kind of no surprise. In this game, we will see what the new Cologne coach Friedhelm Funkel, who was retired after they was fired from Düsseldorf 2 years ago or last year, and now they is back from retirement and wants to save Cologne from relegation. He tried this 17 years ago in 2003, and he failed. So I don't think it's getting better with Cologne after firing Gisdol. On the other hand, Leverkusen odds are really low, because I don't know how they managed to be on spot 6. They also fired their coach some games before. Under their new coach, they didn't show a lot of improvements. They had weak opponents, and they collected some points. In this game, I see a really dangerous... I would see a dangerous draw if there would be Gisdol as coach. With Friedhelm Funkel as coach, I think Cologne is going down in the second league, really. Yeah, that's why I would say Leverkusen is winning this game, but I think the odds are too small here.
Coaches getting fired in Germany is a risk job, but for sure you get good money in the insurance when they have to collect the full salary of the season. So
not the worst, yeah.
Then on Sunday, Dortmund Werder Bremen, Terzic, another coach that arrived in the middle of the season because Favre was fired, but Dortmund had bigger plans for this week for sure. Today they have to face Man City, and it's open. Everything can happen after the 2-1. They reacted well even in the Bundesliga, beating Stuttgart 2-3, and they also need to focus in the Bundesliga because it's very likely that it's very likely that they are not going to win the Champions League, so they need to qualify for the next edition, and they have to finish at least fourth. So they have to win this game, Radek, and Werder Bremen, they are going down and down for a straight defeat, so I guess we should expect a home victory here.
For sure, yeah. Anything else as a win of Borussia Dortmund is, not imaginable. I think, they will win this game, but the odds are too low to bet on. Even Asian handicap is too dangerous. That Dortmund is winning with 2 goals in advantage in every normal game, I would say yes, for sure. You can bet on it, even no great odds, no value on that. And everything depends on the game or on Manchester City. I think if they lose clearly against Manchester City, I would bet on Asian handicap on Dortmund, because if they lose in the Champions League, for sure they want to show their better face in the Bundesliga, and that means that they will beat up Werder Bremen. But if they have a exhausting, close game against Manchester City, I think they're not 100% on point against Bremen, no matter how the game is ending. Maybe they win even against Manchester City close, and Manchester City is also going to the half-finals because of scoring more away goals. A very, very interesting game. So we have to watch this first and can make a prediction to the Dortmund game afterwards. But I tend to keep the hands off because there's not much to win on Dortmund, and I won't bet against Dortmund. So, yeah.
We have some people, Pronósticos Deportivos saying Werder Bremen to win, odds 8.0, and Shuban being a little bit more realistic. Bremen Asian handicap plus 1.5. We have odds for that 1.83. So as you said before, if they can keep the game close because maybe Dortmund is tired after the game they have tonight, that could be another options.
Yeah, but Bremen is still a bad team. You have to keep this in mind. Only because the favorite is struggling doesn't make the bad team a good bet, even if the odds are under 2 for that. It's too dangerous. Betting on a Bremen win with 8.0 with small amount of money, I think would be even more attractive because you get more for less risk, and but only if Dortmund has a really tough game against Manchester City. Then if there is a clear win for Manchester City, I think Dortmund will be changing in some positions in the Bundesliga game and being in revenge mode against Bremen.
Well, we would have made a lot of money this season betting against Dortmund with small teams because they lost some crazy games again.
10 games, 10 games lost. That's ridiculous.
So good luck for Pronósticos. You can get 8.0 if your tip and you put money on Werder Bremen. Then the last one, Mainz Hertha. This is important for the relegation area. You said two teams that are fighting against relegation, Radek, but they are improved. They've improved a lot in the last weeks. You said how Mainz, they are among the best teams in the Bundesliga right now. Again, victory against Cologne with Barreiro scoring that winner in the 19 minutes. In the last 11 games, 6 victories. This is really remarkable. And Hertha is a team that improved a little bit since firing your friend Labadia. Now with the Hungarian coach doing a little bit better. They drew with Gladbach. Last 5 games, 2 victories, 2 draws, 1 defeat. So maybe this is a good game also to back the draw.
Yeah, enough said. So, don't make it complicated here. And it's a sure draw. So no one of them wants to lose. They are forbidden to lose this game because it's a kind of decisive game. If Mainz wins this game, they're not being in second league next year. But I think if Hertha wins this game, everything will be very dangerous for Mainz till the end. So Mainz will put everything in this game like they did in the last games, and we all know how strong Mainz can be. And that's why both teams will be, very tough fight. And I think the best option is to bet on a lot of yellow cards here, because this is a classic fight against relegation. And I think, we will see a lot of yellow cards. I will see maybe a lot of goals. I'm really not sure about that. Not an expert on betting on a lot of goals, but everything makes most sense here. Betting on this 3.35 draw.
Okay, then we have everything, Radek. We know that you don't like ACCAs, but I don't know if you can put together 2-3 games, maybe 2-3 draws for us.
Yeah, if you look at the most clear things on this game day, I would say Leipzig won't lose against Hoffenheim. Maybe you can put a double chance on Leipzig. Not special odds here, I know. But even a Leipzig win should be kind of okay for an accumulator. I see Leverkusen win good enough to bet in an accumulator because of Cologne put away their biggest weapon against relegation with their coach Gistol, in my eyes. And I think Borussia Dortmund will win against Bremen if they have a clear game against Manchester City. And these three favorites should make it on this game day. But what do you do with accumulators? You always look for small odds because you think that this is more likely. But what I prefer is to combining two high odds in a double bet. You get odds of 9 or 10 or something around that. And you have almost the same chances betting on Mainz Hertha as a draw and Union Berlin against Stuttgart as a draw. You get really brilliant odds, and it's not. It's in my eyes the same probability as betting on three favorites who are really not for sure this favorite. So I always prefer high odds instead of so-called favorite odds.
Perfect. Then we have two options: the higher one for the ACCA, the one going for the favorites. Thank you, Radek, for analyzing again the Bundesliga. As also thank everyone who commented in the video. You can still do it later and have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. And of course, please, if you enjoy the video, press the like button, subscribe, follow us, and click on the bell to get all the notifications. If you prefer, we have also a podcast, so you can listen to all our videos in our podcast. And Radek, let's see each other next week and see if the Bundesliga title is alive or not.
Yeah, let's see it. Thank you, Eduardo. It was a pleasure. Thank you for watching. See you next time.